Recently, I had the privilege of going to Lutterworth, England, to John Wycliffe's church, the last church that he preached at just before he died. Tradition has it that he preached that sermon and then he walked outside and had a stroke and later passed away. They buried him. 43 years later, the Pope was so upset with the writings of John Wycliffe. You see, the Morning Star of the Reformation had helped to translate the Bible into English, and he had denounced the false teachings of the church. Anyway, the Pope was so upset that he ordered that his body be exhumed, that his bones be dug up, and they burned them into ashes and then took his ashes and dumped them in the local river Swift. Apparently this was a power move by the church, and they were hoping that it would denounce his works to everyone that heard the story, but those ashes went into the river, which flowed into another river, which eventually flowed into the Atlantic Ocean, and thus Wycliffe's message went into the entire world. You know, in Jesus' message to the church of Smyrna in Revelation 2, he says in verse 10, "Do not fear what you're about to suffer. Behold, the devil is about to cast some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and you'll have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. He who overcomes shall not be hurt by the second death. You know, I was thinking about this story and I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to be so faithful to the Lord that you would upset the legions of darkness, that they got together and said, we need to dig up your bones and burn them. We're so angry at your works. To be so faithful to God that the world would take notice of you. You know, the interesting thing about it is they couldn't touch John Wycliffe. You see, when you have given your heart to Christ and you're faithful in all things, you're untouchable. And although they burned up his bones, the Lord didn't need those bones. You see, John Wycliffe will be receiving a new body when Jesus comes. So I want to encourage you to be faithful today in all things, in deeds and words, so that the world may know that your God is God and a mighty one that He is. God bless.